Today we'll find out which robot is the best home companion for doing household chores and acting as a companion. I won't be able to cover all of the robots that have come out, but I have picked a few, so let's go.
For Neon Mini is a cheaper alternative to the Neura Robotics full-sized humanoid robot. It is built with the same eye and comprehensive perception as the foundation model, making it an attractive choice. They mention that it is built for safety, agility, and accessibility. It has a little screen which is kind of cute. It seems to have hotkey eye interfaces, and the model with a manipulation-capable hand costs €29,999.
Yeah, so this robot is somewhat expensive, but it also has a lot of capabilities. It's kind of good size, medium-sized, maybe a bit too small, depends on your preference. I'm going to give it a B, because it still has got a lot of good capabilities, and they're focusing on making it more affordable for homes, which is good.
The Mercury X1 robot by Elephant Robotics is a wheeled robot with 19 degrees of freedom. It has a more simplistic design and programmable interface, which makes it easier to customize. It's also relatively cheap compared to the others, around €13,000. It has a large screen for a face, but it can also do some basic tasks.
Yeah, so this robot is relatively cheap. I mean, compared to others, the price is still high, but it also has less capabilities, I would assume, and you have to do more programming and stuff yourself. But I think it's really good for the price you get with the robot arms being able to move and interacting with the facial screen. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the screen faces because they allow better expressions and custom faces for your waifu needs. So I'm giving it an A.
The Sunday Robotics Memo Robot has a smart design by teaching the robot through hand and arm movements rather than a full humanoid design, making it easier to train. It can already do stuff like laundry and loading dishwashers. Personally, I think the design is kind of ugly, but it has a cost of around €14,000, so that's a plus. And also, it seems you can train the robot yourself with the gloves if you so choose.
Yeah, so this robot is also very interesting. It's a bit cheaper than the Neuro Robotics robot, but the design is also kind of meh. It's not the best. But I could see it working as a home assistant and being a companion. So I would give it a B.
The Limexoli is an advanced robot that's 165 centimeters tall. It has some impressive movements and allows for some interfacing to getting the robot to behave in the way you want it to. It reportedly costs around €20,000 and lacks a proper face, I suppose. But it seems capable of doing stuff like wandering, sorting, and receiving voice commands.
Yeah, so this robot is more industrial grade and more large, and probably will be used in factories more than in homes. But it also has some good moves, fluid movements, and but due to the price, I can't rate it higher than C.
Unitori is probably the cheapest robots you will find today. This R1 model costing only €4,000, but the price can be higher if you choose other variants. It has a lot of physical capabilities like doing cartwheels and handstands, but it is a very small robot and doesn't have a lot of autonomous abilities like the other robots. But it's cheap, and if you don't like the aesthetic, you can apparently customize it somewhat.
So the Unitree R1 robot, it's a compact shape. It's the best you can buy if you want to get started with some kind of robot, because the price point is so low, but it's also not very capable. But overall, it's a very solid choice for a companion robot and in the home, so I would give it an A.
Fourier GR3 is a tall and soft robot, having been designed for emotional interactions. It seems to have a large focus on communication and companionship, but the capabilities of the robot are not shown much aside from that. And it may also be one of the more expensive robots of €80,000. But look at that cutie!
Yeah, so the Fourier GR3 is a very cute robot. It has this very fluffy skin or soft skin, whatever the case, but it also has some capabilities as shown on their website, but they are not expanded upon very much, so it's hard to give a rating on what it can actually do. But for the price point, I would have to put it in B, but it's a solid choice otherwise.
Agibat is a company to keep an eye out for, because their X2 robot is very interesting. It has a great design and can do things like riding a bike. It has a little display on its face and has a cheaper variant or an ultra version that allows for secondary development. I think the cheapest version costs around 13,000 euro.
So Agibot, their X2 model, it has a lot of promise. It's a compact form and it is able to do a variety of tasks, at least from what I can tell, and could be programmed to behave in the way that you want them to, which is good for the companionship side of things. And it's also relatively cheap and has a face screen, which is also a plus. So I'm giving it an A.
There was some drama around the new home robot, but it does have some promising features. Then again, if they do deliver, is waiting to see. Costing around 18,000 euro, it claims to be able to automate household chores and learn through teleoperation. It can also converse as a companion. They went for a gentle design, which is nice, but it feels a little stiff in its movements.
Yeah, so if you want a companion robot, the Neo claims to be that, but it's also a concern of the privacy when you have to allow teleoperators to control the robot, and well, the actual design is kind of plain, and I don't see it being very useful, especially when it's moving so stiff, so I will give it a C.
Astribot, this one, is a robot that has about the same arm capabilities as a human male. It has fluid movements and a feminine design, making it quite elegant. It has a PIA interface and can do simple cooking, but it costs a whopping 90,000 euro. Maybe.
Yeah, so this is one of the robots that I haven't seen talked about much, but it also is very expensive, and I cannot see it being used in homes unless they reduce the price. But otherwise it has great movements, design, yeah, and it also has the API interface. So I will give it an A. If the price was lower, then it would be an easy S.
The Droid robot acts as the central hub for your AI appliances at home and aims to automate household chores through this integration. While it can work if you have a lot of appliances working together, I think it might be too expensive for most people. It reportedly costs 30,000 euro. I like the screen and the design is sleek and professional.
This feels like one of those robots that more wealthy people will have, apart from normal people that can afford these robots. But the Cloyd is in an upper tier, where the robot has to work together with the AI appliances in your home, from what I gathered from it. So therefore it's not really about the companionship, but rather automating your home. And that makes it a D tier. After ranking all the robots, I've decided to move the Agibot X2 to the top S tier, because it's the most promising in my eyes, because the company is doing well and it's probably going to keep improving and expanding, and we'll see how the capabilities evolve, because it can ride a bike now, and who knows what it'll be able to do when we get to see it more in the homes of people, if someone buys it that way. But yeah, this is the robot tier list. Get yourself a robot someday, because it's cool. Share your thoughts in the comments.